Once upon a time, in the village of Umudim, there lived a young man named Obinna. Obinna works in a bakery where they produce bread, cake, and pastries. He is married to a beautiful young woman named Sochi. Sochi was a private school teacher in one of the schools located in the community. Obinna loves his wife so much, and they were blessed with a son whose name is Kemde. He's so fond of his father and they loved him so much. Obinna belonged to so many social clubs. They usually meet every last Sunday of the month where they drink, eat and have fun. So one fateful day, he attended to his club meeting and their chairman taught them a lot of funny ways of spicing their marriage and making their marriage more sweeter. Obinna got home and decided to try out the tricks and the pranks that have been taught in the meeting. One Sunday evening, while they were in the parlor resting, his wife was using his phone to watch a movie. There is this old SIM he had but not been using, but he do recharge it once in a while to keep it valid. He picked the SIM and a smartphone. Babe, let me use the restroom, I'll be back. Don't finish my battery, he said to his wife. In the restroom, he slot in the SIM card and wrote this message. Honey, this pregnancy is becoming obvious. People are beginning to suspect it. Please come and do a small thing from the list you have collected so I can go out anytime I want without fear of what people will say. My gas has finished. Please come and refill it for me tomorrow. We love you. He then sent the message to his phone that his wife was using. Few minutes later, he came out from the restroom, fully prepared with the lines he was going to use in responding to any form of attack from his wife, be it verbal or physical. But to his greatest surprise, his wife did not react, not even from her facial expression. He tried to get words from his wife, but she was very calm. You know I love you so much and no one will ever get in between us, he teased her. I know, I love you too. Thanks for staying true to our marital vows, she responded with a hug. Obinna was surprised. Maybe the message didn't enter or it entered but she didn't see it, he thought. To satisfy his doubts, he decided to check the phone. Are you done with the phone? I want to make a call, he said. I'm not done, but you can have it. Let me bring food from the kitchen. Before I'm back, you should be done. The movie is very interesting. He quickly ran to the message app and discovered that the message was read. Then, why did she not react, he wondered. A moment later, she brought the food with smiles all over her face. Darling, dinner is served. He was afraid to eat because they had rat poison in the house. What if the food is poisoned? No, you must not eat, he said to himself. Babe, I'm having stomach ache. Don't think I'll be able to take anything now. So in that case, I am permitted to eat your meat, right? She said. Yes, dear, go ahead, please, Obinna said. My goat meat and white soup, it really pained Obinna, he said. He watched as his wife did justice to the food but did not die. He kept waiting for her to ask him about the message so the aim of the prank could be achieved, but she did not. He became afraid of his own shadow, but as a man he carried on as if nothing was wrong. From Sunday till the next Sunday, his wife didn't mention the issue, neither did she ask otherwise. He had been avoiding eating with her. Instead, he would prefer eating with his son. The next morning, she showed her husband the dress she bought for her mother and told him she has to deliver the dress in person. So she left for the village with their son. Later in the afternoon, he got a call from his father-in-law, asking him to come to the house. He didn't know what the problem was, because his wife is still very friendly even on phone. However, that afternoon, he honored his father-in-law's call. He got there in the company of his friend Stephen, who was also a very good family member and also his club member. After telling him all that transpired, he could not hold himself but laughing out loud. They got to his wife's place, but the regular greeting was reduced. He handed his father-in-law the drink he bought for him, but he asked him to drop it on the table instead. Grandpa is not happy with you, his son tipped in. He smiled sheepishly. The boy is right, my kinsman will soon be here. Please exercise patience, his father-in-law said. He turned to Stephen and they made eye contact. Sir, he began, I'm lost here. Is there something I've done wrong? I think we can sort it out as a family before inviting your kinsmen. After all, you once told me that a secret of the household must first be made known to the head of the house. Can we talk about this, please? His father-in-law was about to respond when the first chief entered. Within 5 minutes, about 10 of his kinsmen arrived. Our in-law, they greeted Obinna one after the other. Before Obinna could fathom what was going on, the meeting had begun, and after the normal traditional greeting, his wife was called in. Our in-law, one of the elders, began to talk. Our daughter here, who is also your wife, brought a report to us yesterday. It is not a good report, it is a bad report. I would like us to hear from the horse's mouth. Our daughter, please tell your fathers and your husband here what you told us yesterday. My fathers, I agree though, Obinna's wife began. Last week Sunday evening, I was using my husband's phone to watch movie. While I was watching the movie, a message came into the phone from a strange number. I read the message and I was heartbroken. The message came from a woman. The woman is pregnant for my husband. And to crown it all, my husband has already gone for her introduction. He has collected the list and has done 1 or 2 things from the list. It is just a matter of time before he sends me packing back to my father's house. So instead of being sent packing, I decided to come back on my own so that nobody will disgrace me. That is why I said you people should call him to come and take the bride price he paid. You are the true daughter of Okemba family, one of the elders praised her. The daughter of a lion, no son or daughter of Okemba family has ever been disgraced before. Is there any? No, all of them echoed. My in-laws, Obinna stood up to defend himself. Another chief shut him down. You will have the floor, don't rush. Okemba family members are not interrupted while talking in a gathering like this. If you do it again, you will be fined heavily as custom demands. Okemba, have I spoken well? Yes, you have spoken well. He sat down, shocked and surprised. Our daughter, the first elder continued. You said bride price should be returned. Please remove the trumpet and speak plainly. Are you no longer interested in the marriage to this young man? I am not interested anymore, Sochi said. Let him take the bride price and go to his new pregnant wife. Our daughter is no longer interested in the marriage. She wants the bride price returned because her husband has another wife somewhere and she doesn't want to have a co-wife as tradition demands. Our in-law must bring his people. I called him our in-law because he is still our in-law for now. Our in-law will bring his people because he did not come alone to pay the bride price. People accompanied him, his parents and other family members. So he must bring his parents back here so we can make a refund of the bride price. Then we can talk about how to take care of the son. Okemba, have I spoken well? Yes, you have spoken well, they all echoed again. Obinna raised up his hands so he could be given the chance to speak. Another, who happened to be their family head, stood up and began. Our in-law, keep down your hand. You will speak when it is time. That speaking for now is because we have all seen what your new wife sent to you. Your wife is a very smart woman. She took a photo of the thing and brought it here. We have seen and believed, unless you will show us that your wife is lying. As the family head of Okemba family, this is my decision. You will go and bring your people here tomorrow or any day that favors you. Let us know when you are coming. It is only then you will defend yourself in the presence of your people and your in-laws. You cannot sit here and address us just like that. This matter is bigger than you. However, I am not in support of returning the bride price. We will see if there is any way we can save this marriage. That will be all for now. As soon as he finished speaking, the meeting was dismissed. Meanwhile, Obinna have reported the whole thing to his family people. They will return there tomorrow. His family people were not happy with the situation. Some of them scolded him for playing such an expensive prank on his wife. Some were angry with his wife for taking the matter to her people without first confronting him. Some were neutral, while some laughed over it. However, they went back to place. Messages were sent across, and within few minutes, his in-laws were complete. The meeting began. One of them stood up. "Our in-laws, you are welcome to our house." "Your house, of course, because the day you married our daughter, we became one." "We are not one of the elders interrupted, with so much anger in him. Peace was restored and the meeting continued. "Like I said earlier," Chief Okoro continued, "we are one. Our house is your house, our daughter is your daughter, and your son is our son too. We sent for you because our daughter brought a report to us concerning your son. According to her, your son has acquired a marriage list from another family, and the woman in question is pregnant for your son. So our daughter returned home and told us she would no longer marry your son because she does not want to have a co-wife. She said we should refund her bride price. That is why we sent for you. My people, have I spoken well?" "Yes, you have spoken well," Sochi's kinsmen and uncles echoed. "Our in-laws," Chief Ibe continued, "I won't be afraid to say that you all did wrong for not allowing our son to say something when you sent for him yesterday. You should have listened to him first. If you had done that, I tell you, there would have been no need gathering here today. This is uncalled for as far as I'm concerned. My son will speak for himself, and after that, we will know what to do." Obinna stood up and explained what really happened. He showed them the same and the message he sent to his wife that is causing problem. And he was waiting for her to ask him about the message. But instead of asking him, she decided to go home and report to them. Convinced by Obinna's explanation, his wife and her people were very surprised and ashamed. "Oh my God," his father-in-law shouted. "Children of nowadays will not kill us. What a wasted effort. That was why I said you people should have listened to the young man in the first place. If you had done that, we wouldn't have been here. However, now that we are here, what should be done, Chief Ibe submitted." After few people had spoken, Obinna's wife was called to confirm if she was still interested in the union. "My fathers," she began, "my in-laws, I know you all are angry with me right now. You are right to be angry. However, before I am castigated, just know that no woman can stand the sight of knowing that her husband had collected a marriage list from another family whose daughter is already pregnant. I did what I thought was right. I allowed emotions got a better part of me. Now I've seen I should have confronted him before coming here. For that, I'm deeply sorry. If there is any way I can undo this, I will. As for my husband, I never stopped loving him even for 1 second. He is still my husband and I'm still his wife. Once again, I'm deeply sorry," she said. Everyone turned to Obinna as if they wanted to hear him say, "I'm no longer interested in the marriage." "Fathers, to be honest, I didn't bargain for this. I didn't want it to end this way. It was just a husband and wife play. I had no idea what my wife was planning to do. I'm very sorry for the stress this has caused you. Accompanying me here to take my wife back, I'm grateful, my in-laws. I'm sorry for stressing you. I promise you something of this nature will never happen again. I love my wife and will never plan of taking another wife. Thank you for your understanding." "Young man, sit down," Chief Ibe interrupted him. "We didn't accompany you here to come and take your wife home. We honored the summon our in-law gave us over the stupid and insensitive behavior you and your wife displayed. In our days, that is when we were young, there was nothing like pranks. You are the head of the house. I don't want to talk too much so that I won't get angry. For bringing us here over a nonsense prank, you both have a fine to pay as tradition demands. Since it started here, we will respect our father-in-law by returning to this same place next week Friday to end it. Both you and your wife will join hands together and bring the following items: 15 tubers of yam, 1 pack of yogurt drink, 10 liters of palm wine, 1 bottle of snuff, one pod of kola, one big she-goat and 35,000 naira. These are what you give when you deceive the elders. My people, have I omitted anything? No, everyone echoed from both families. Very well then, he continued. You are free to go with your wife, but don't fail to bring us back here on Friday next week. Chief Ibe concluded. Obinna took his wife back home. After 4 days, they returned with what the elders have demanded, and they were all happy. He held his wife tightly, and his father-in-law said to him jokingly, "You will pay for her bride price a second time for stressing my daughter over a prank." He smiled, and they all ate, drank, and prayed. Obinna took his wife home, and they lived happily. He didn't think of anything concerning pranks again to avoid stories that touches the heart.